Finally, someone is in the news for using common sense, rather than pandering to the screaming woke snowflakes demanding that everything in society be changed, not to appease a minority group, but a tiny minority within that minority. Meet Carol Hooven, a professor of biology at Harvard, so she knows her fucking onions. And she's been met with criticism because she refuses to use the term pregnant people. Professor Hooven went on to say that many top universities are being encouraged not to use terms like female and male, and that this type of thinking is infiltrating not only the classroom but science itself. So why is pregnant person or people the correct term? Because it's inclusive of trans and non-binary types. But in no way do I blame this idiotic thinking on the vast majority of trans and non-binary people. No, this is coming from the universities themselves, because they're desperate to prove just how fucking woke they are. A quick note to any woke people who are watching: I just made that gesture. I'm not endorsing violence. Stop your fucking crying. But this is where the minorities of the minorities come into play, because both communities have these very angry screaming people, and worse than them, they're fucking allies. And strangely, universities, places of academia, go along with their endless bullshit. For example, I saw a video on YouTube in which a trans woman was explaining that any straight man who won't date a trans woman is by default transphobic. Now, if I was single, I wouldn't date a trans woman. But a phobia is a fear. And I'm not afraid of transgender people. It's just, if I were looking for a girlfriend, the number one thing I would insist on is that she doesn't have a dick. Technically speaking, there are only two genders. And that doesn't mean I'm angry at the 8 million others that have been made up this week. It's just that for centuries, female and male has served a purpose within civilization, and it's females who get pregnant. And I know wokeists keep crying about this and they want to change everything, but that won't happen until long after I'm dead. Because you can't lead a revolution from your designated safe space. So well done to the Professor of Biology for standing her ground. But sadly, idiotic terms like pregnant people aren't limited to the USA. Because earlier in the year, in Brighton, right here in England, midwives at the Brighton hospital were told they have to change their terminology. For anyone watching overseas, Brighton is a beautiful seaside town on the south coast. It's also the capital of the British LGBTQAAA+ community. There's more letters added every fucking week. And although that's all well and good, it does mean that Brighton Council take this woke fuckery to a different level. So the midwives at this hospital can no longer use the terms mother and father. Instead, mother is birthing parent, and the father is either the sperm producer or the secondary biological parent. Father's Day is going to look very different in the near future. Hi Dad, just phoned up to wish you a happy secondary biological parents day, and thanks for being a sperm producer. The term mother's milk has been changed to human milk, which doesn't sound creepy at all, and breastfeeding has become chest feeding. The reason for this is that some of the screamy people say that breastfeeding can also be done by trans men, but the term can be hurtful to trans women. And again, the vast majority of the trans community will have no problem with the term breastfeeding. But to appease this tiny screaming minority within a minority, science and biology take second place to ideology. We live in an age of wonders. Sorry to piss on your chips, woke people, but only biological females can lactate. Now, a trans woman can have the biggest implants money can buy. She can look like Dolly fucking Parton, but she will never produce milk. Whereas you can get a flat-chested lass, a woman with a figure like an ironing board with nipples, and she will. And now the NHS, our wonderful National Health Service, is trying to appease the anti-everything club. Because on its website, it states that when trying for a baby, 80% of people under the age of 40 will get pregnant in less than a year. I'm over the age of 40, so apparently my chances of getting pregnant are diminishing. People do not get pregnant. Women get pregnant. I can categorically state I could get fucked by 100 different blokes every day for a month and I wouldn't get pregnant because I haven't got a fucking uterus. And the reason the NHS used the word people rather than female or woman is because, once again, it's more inclusive. How have we got to a point where we're worried about people being offended by reality? So thank God we've got people like Professor Hooven calling this crap out, because people can identify as whatever they like, but it doesn't change their basic biology. Recently, I was watching a video on YouTube of a guy who says he's offended when people breathe loudly next to him because he identifies as a fish. And my fear is that if we continue along the yellow brick road in our quest to find the wonderful wizard of woke, before long we won't be able to use terms like human or people, lest we offend some lunatic who thinks he's a trout. My solution is simple. Sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. So if you meet a chap who thinks he's a fish, get a bucket of water and hold his fucking head in it, because before long he will realise he doesn't have gills. And the same applies to anyone who refuses to accept the reality which the rest of us know is true. Women give birth, men do not. And whilst we're on it, the earth is round, the moon landings happened, the Queen is not a shape-shifting lizard, 9/11 was orchestrated by Islamic terrorists, and vaccines fucking work. But all of us sensible people, we already knew all of that. Anyway, that's the end of the video, and thanks for watching. People, but females lactate. Why am I fucking saying this? Even our wonderful NHS is being start again. Terrorists, vaccinations work. No one cares about your dreams or if you're a vegan. Just fuck off. The seas, Brighton. Oh, there's an aeroplane coming. Go on, fuck off, Biggles. This milk is to be. Oh, fuck it.